Hi there, Evan here with Crypto and Markets for Christmas Eve 2018. Firstly, to everyone watching this video, to all my followers both on YouTube and on Twitter, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and a happy and safe holiday season. 2018 was a crazy year. Believe it or not, 2019 shaping up to be even crazier. No matter what, I'll always be there for you. First topic I'm going to cover today. Last night, of course, Steve Mnuchin, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, came out on Twitter and said, "I've spoken to the big banks to ensure there's ample liquidity in the system." One, no one brought it up, so why did he have to bring it up? And usually when that happens, you should start worrying about it. Again, if you traded in 2007, 2008, the various bank CEOs kept going on CNBC, Bloomberg, etc., saying they were adequately capitalized when no one else brought it up. And the banks ultimately became the big worry in 2008. So what does that tell you? And second rule, of course, if you're a Seinfeld fan, he ruined Festivus, which is the #1 holiday to all Seinfeld fans in the world, but anyways. But yeah, what's going on in the stock market right now? Look. The global economy has been slowing really since the later part of last year. In fact, I've done previous videos on this. The European stock market actually peaked out late last year. Emerging markets peaked out in the spring. But the S&P was ignoring all that and kept levitating higher. So what I'm saying is, things haven't been good out there for a while, but the US markets, and to a certain degree even the Canadian markets as well too, have finally woken up to this. So all this money kept flooding into the US thinking they were going to come out of this unscathed. They're not. And is it going to get better anytime soon? No. Look at all the leading indicators. Look at Korean exports, for example, which is the best one to follow for global EPS growth. Thank you, Raoul Paul. That one tells us the next 6 months aren't going to be good at all. We're in the midst of a global credit slowdown. Because of that, housing markets around the world, auto markets around the world, furniture, appliances, other durable goods as well, that market's slowing down. And that's always your first sign of trouble. Look at the yield curve. In fact, they even put this out on Twitter actually today. The 1s and 2s have actually inverted now. So even with the Fed only being at 2.5%, the yield curve's telling you they're already on the borderline of going too far, if not have gone too far already. In Canada, the 1s, 2s inverted last week. Again, telling you the same thing. This whole talk about inflation out there, again, I don't know where everyone keeps talking, saying inflation's going to pick up. The growth in the M1 money supply globally peaked out in the middle of last year, so the definition of inflation is too much money chasing too few goods. And if the growth in the supply of money is going this way, why do you have inflation? And the #1 way to create money is through credit, and that's slowing down. Commodities, another global growth indicator. The industrial metals peaked out at the beginning of the year. Other commodities outside energy peaked out around April or May. Energy peaked out in the fall, which, of course, oil is always the last one to peak, unfortunately, like the US stock market. But that one peaked out in September, along with the Russell 2000, the rest of the stock market, the S&P, the Dow, and NASDAQ, all peaked out in October. So again, all the indicators out there are telling you demand is not going to be there next year. So that's the main reason why stock markets around the world keep going down and there's no sign of a bottom. Well, really, the forward-looking indicators are telling us the bottom's not going to come for a while. That's all there is to it. I've been warning everyone on this channel to lighten up all year, to get into treasuries, to start buying up US dollars as a safe haven. In fact, if you're Canadian and done that, since my call back in March, you're up about 20% now. All the short Canadian bank calls I put out on Twitter, oh, those are doing pretty good right now. So again, those have worked. I'd say just stick with it. Although again here, remember, we are going into the Santa Claus period, so you're probably going to see a bit of a pop here at some point. If you are going to short, my advice, wait for a bit of a pop. Last thing I'm going to cover today, there's a lot of signs out there that retail sales in Canada are slower than they were last year right now. Remember, I don't mean to keep harping on this. Remember what I said about Canadian retail sales a little over a year ago. I said, declining real estate values in your top two real estate markets, and now even that's spread as well too in other markets, but anyways, I said, as Canadian real estate values start declining, that's going to take wealth away from the consumer and take away their ability to spend in the economy. Well, what's happened with retail sales the past 3 or 4 months? Everything I said came out to be true. And we're only year one into this. It's only getting started. I won't harp on it. I'll leave it there. Hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe. And most importantly, follow me on Twitter at CryptoMarkets2. And before we go, Raoul Paul at Real Vision did a great video. He put it out about 2 months ago talking about demographics with the baby boomers and what's going to happen to the U.S. economy because of that going forward. I'll link that video down below. I watched it yesterday. It's a great video. And a happy and safe holiday season to you and yours.